All right, let's talk a few words about curriculum. Yeah, so fun. Look at all the nice colors. Didn't you love it?
I spot the missing item. The kid on the left. Doesn't have a notebook.
He has an orange shirt.
That's why he's smiling, like not really genuinely, because he didn't get a notebook.
He's like, yes!
He doesn't care.
Nice. All right, so if you like ice cream, I don't know, sorry. If you like ice cream, okay, or non-dairy ice cream, that's what I eat.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free non-dairy ice cream. It does exist. I'm telling you, it's actually good. Just saying. There's not this class to talk about it. But anyway, if you think about it this way, all of the stuff that we do as music as a tree, if you can think about it this way, you're a part of it, right? You play instruments, you sing, right? We talk about, I say play, I think sing. You improvise, you compose, you read, you notate, you listen, you evaluate, you have connections, you talk about history, you sing, you do all of that, right? You do everything, right? So if you think about it that way as being a big Sunday, maybe that'll help you. And that's how I think of curriculum. I think of curriculum as being a big Sunday, all right? When you get out and you get the fancy degree, oh, right, that you can put up on your wall, right? When you get that fancy degree and all those things, you have the Sunday, all right? You have everything. But that's kind of the intertwinings of the Sunday, right? All your courses, you have courses right now on all this stuff, right? That you're doing, analyzing, improvising, things like that, right? So if you think about it that way, and think about what a curriculum is a curriculum is the whole thing, the whole gamut, the whole ball of wax, the whole Sunday, everything, not the little inner pieces of it, right? Not where you actually, and you might like the singing part, that's great. And there is a whole curriculum on singing, but I'm thinking all in general. So, I don't know how much, we're gonna talk about a couple methods here, so that you know what they are. You probably have done some of these, maybe, and maybe not. So, are you in oral skills now? All of you? Yeah. Okay, so are you using the ta and the takas and the tikis and the dodadis or anything? And I don't know because I'm not in your class and I'm new.
Just talk for everything.
Just ta for everything. Yeah. Oh, they're simple on you. Oh, they're simple on you. They're very, very simple on you. So you'll probably remember from your classes the one-iandas. We probably talked about them in high school maybe. So that's a method. The doodadis, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, or doodades, no, guess not, okay? That was the one I was taught, okay? Or the tas and the titis, that does exist in a lot of schools around here, where ta is a quarter note and tt is an eighth note. All it is syllables to help students learn some things, okay? So for example, they go, two is a half note, and we're talking Kodai method, by the way. I don't know if you know anything about Kodai or not. I'm giving you an overview of today of all the little methods, all right? So there are people who study Kodai and will know in and outs of everything, and I'm going to give you one slide. Isn't it wonderful? Because that's how much time we're going to have today to talk about it. But this is how they label their rhythms, okay? So they have the takas, the tum-tis, the syncoppa, right? And so what I want you to look at this is I want you to think, not this yet, I want you to look at the rhythm here. What do you think is a good thing and a bad thing for students? Think as a teacher now.
A lot to remember.
It's a lot to remember. Good. Okay, I would agree. It's a lot to remember.
It's a little confusing, I guess.
Could be confusing.
Could be.
Okay, now you're looking at the rhythm part of it. Okay, but if I would teach this to you and not show you this, I'm showing you this as the teacher book. You have the teacher book. Yes, I have the teacher book, but I'm showing you this. What can it do positively for the students?
Well, I mean, the whole point of them is so that you remember the different things because they're different.
Okay. So how did you remember, and I agree with that, so how did you associate with rhythm in high school / private teacher, if you had a private teacher? How did you learn rhythms? Can you remember? Counted like how?
Like one, like.
One and two and?
Yeah, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one iana, two iana. What'd you do for triplets?
Triplet.
Triplet. Okay, triplet. Okay. Anybody else do anything else?
That's an
we're going to get to that.
Which is a whole mess. But
Right, and that's a whole other different method. Okay? Good? Anything else?
Maybe like just using like they did, only just the one syllable.
So let's talk about more of the associate or association. Okay? So there's some views, and you got to think about this philosophical views, if I can say views. If you can think about philosophically that you can look at this and the students aren't seeing the notation. So you're giving them the syllables to do, and they're able to just do it because they know what the associations are. So for example, tika tika, tika tika, tika tika, wanienda, tika tika. Okay? So if I would write that on there, your student might go, it's a tika tika. Or if I would write this, oh, it's just a tube. We use ta, and it's funny because all of you are doing everything on ta, so you're doing the very small Kodai method, and we're going to talk about the singing part of it. You're probably doing the rest of that other stuff over there. Right? Or the syncopa. All right? So again, it's all associations. Now I'm just showing you this because there are a lot of elementary schools that use this. Tons of elementary schools that use the Kodai method. And you will, I'm sure, in your next general music class, this is not really a general music class, we'll go over that. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do you use that? Okay, you do that. No.
We had to do it for oral skills for like 2 weeks and then we had to do it.
Okay. Have you done the hand signs?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah, we had to do it.
So let's do it. You want to do it? Oh, what's a good key? What's a good key?
B flat.
Look at that. Alright, so can we do the hand signs? Can we do it? Do, two. So quarter note, 2, ready, and do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Come back down. Ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Perfect. Okay, so you know part of the Kodai method already. Why is that good? Why is this the hand jive, I call it. It's not really.
Associating like hand signs with like note names, that helps your brain connect. Like so when you're seeing a note, you can use the hand signs and feel like.
Okay. So you can connect that. For students, they can think this and be like, we're going to sing this, we're going to sing do, and they'll sing along with do, right? Or if you have, more oral, audio challenged. No, that's not the right word. What am I thinking? Auditory, that's it. Thank you. There's the word I want. Fishing for it. You got it. Challenge students that they'll understand where you're at, because obviously this is where hand signs come from, correct, right? Yeah. For words, right? So, Kodai method. Questions? There's another one. The ORF. Oh, I'm gonna play this for you. Okay, turn on the sounds. Gotta turn on the sounds. Gotta turn it on. Gotta turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on. So ORF. Come on. Play. Play. Reading. Car ORF.
Simple Simon met a Hyman going to the fair. Said Simple Simon to the Hyman, let me taste your ware. Simple Simon met a Hyman going to the fair. Said Simple Simon to the Hyman, let me taste your ware. La
So are there people who train in ORF? Comments?
I don't understand what they were trying to say.
Yeah, I don't
I don't understand that whatsoever.
Well, what were they doing? State the obvious.
Singing.
Singing, okay.
Playing.
Playing an instrument. What else were they doing? State the obvious.
Putting small pieces together to make one bigger picture.
Putting small pieces to make bigger. Yes. What else?
Dancing.
Dancing. What else?
They were doing this.
They kind of had a hand movement going on too. Coordination, right? Good. What else?
They were like, oh my gosh, they were playing together. They were doing duets. That's what they were doing.
Duets. Okay. Okay. What else? Were they learning any notes? Pitches?
Yes.
Okay.
How they graduated from the simple rhythm and just speaking text on rhythm to building it and something bigger.
Okay. All right. So what was your beef?
I just didn't understand any of it.
You don't understand. Nobody played ORF instruments with you.
No.
You were deprived.
I guess.
I feel like you were selling, like almost like selling you on concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
That's
right,
my
and,
style.
and that's a video, that's the video that comes right from the ORF, ORF organization site, okay? I mean, that's basically their site.
Right.
So yeah, they were selling you some concepts. Not selling you, but more or less probably giving you some ideas as far as that, okay?
Advertising, marketing.
Right. So I want you to think for a second, because you're big and smart adults now, and you're thinking outside of the school world. They were singing, they were playing instruments. How easy, as they come into more middle school and senior high school level, if they're already playing instruments, you could use that, right? How many of you started on piano when you were at a young age? Any of you? A few of you? Okay. When were the rest of you? 4th, 5th grade instruments? 4th, 5th grade? Okay. You didn't raise your hand. When did you start?
I started around 6th grade.
Okay. So you start around 6th grade. So when is the right appropriate time to bring back into the world of band or the world of choir? 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade. How do you get them there?
Nurturing their interests from a young age, which is also kind of the parents' not responsibility, but like it's kind of on them
Yeah.
from a younger age before school.
Did your parents play instruments with you? Did your parents play music for you? Yeah, right, Beatles. Right? Yeah? Right? So if you think about that, they're actually doing that. I forget who said something about recorder karate.
Oh, yeah.
It was you, right, Tober? So, recorder?
Yep.
What could that become? Clarinet, very easily. Or, oh look, we can turn. I'll be like Jack Black. We turn it like this, right? Right? And just become something else. Or, what else? Saxophone. Yes, I know you're like, yes, saxophone, right? Very much so, right? Okay? And I agree with you.
That's hard.
But that's what that is, right? That's what that is. If you remember the day, do you remember playing recorders?
Yeah.
Okay? So that could be more of like an ORF kind of attempt, but it's where we have those big instruments. So I just want to show you back here, we're going to play with some of these, but we do have them. We do have the tone trees, and I know Dr. Safine is going to bring these out and have you play with them. I know she is, okay, because I know her too well. So we do have these instruments, okay? We do have the orphan instruments, and we have where, this is easily a mallet instrument, right? Easily, percussive instrument, right? All right. So, Carl Orff, more or less playing, performing, singing, dancing, okay?
So he had his own instruments.
What do you mean he has his own instruments?
Well, they call them ORF instruments.
They call them ORF instruments, yes.
Specifically?
Yep,
But they're-
specifically.
But they're like percussion.
They're not
instruments.
necessarily made by ORF, but they call them ORF instruments.
Oh.
Yes,
Just because that's what they use.
that's what they use them for, and they use that method for them.
Right.
Yep,
Okay.
and most teachers, I don't know if you've seen them, the ones of you that are in the general music classes now observing, but they won't say, oh yes, we're going to use today Carl Orff's instruments. No, they're not going to say that. They're just going to get them out and we're going to play instruments. And they're going to be like, yay, to play instruments! Yay! It's so fun! Right? Okay?
We had them in my elementary school and I loved playing.
See?
Yeah. Rock extreme.
Take it in, Maddie. Take it in.